If you're easily offended, you're from Liverpool, or both, I suggest you switch off now.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Band, Bikes and Booze Reviews. Do you ever get times in your life where you wonder, why the fuck am I doing this? Well, this is one of them moments for me. And the reason being, I'm going to be reviewing an Erdinger, which I'm not a fan of. But this is a special Erdinger. It's red. And it's to celebrate Liverpool's lovely championship win of the Premiership in 2020. Have you heard about that?
You traitorous gasket!
They've only mentioned it about 5 fucking million times, and it's got his face on the side of it. And apparently, Erdinger is his favourite drink. Well, I don't know what it is, but certain Germans have problems with their taste, and he's obviously one of them.
It's a well-known fact that your German cannot think on the left side of his brain.
Anyway, I'm fucking signing my own death warrant here. I'm going to be lynched up in Yorkshire. I'm probably going to be lynched up in Liverpool now. One half of Liverpool anyway. The Everton fans, they might appreciate this. And they always get 3 points of us. I don't mind Everton, I can handle them. It's these fucking scarce gits. But this is fucking calm down. Calm the fuck down, right? This is to celebrate their championship win. As I said, it's got a picture of little Jurgen on the side. Apparently he's a really nice bloke in real life. Very down to earth. And I've watched interviews with him. And he does come across as being a real, genuine fella. So I'm not going to knock the geezer for that. I will knock him for his taste in beer.
Oh, blimey, it's inherent with your own, isn't it? It's like a Teutonical weakness, you see.
But it's an Erdinger. I'm not a fan of Erdinger. They really don't do good beer, in my opinion. I recently revisited and reviewed the Weissbier, and it was just as bad as ever, in my opinion. This is another thing. This is a special limited edition. If you're a Liverpool fan, my condolences. But if you want to get one of these, you're going to have to be a bit sharpish. And you're going to have to pay for it as well. Alright? You can't fucking steal this.
Sodom woolly back bastard!
They're a limited edition. You can get them online from Beers of Europe. Beers of Europe are doing them, but quite a few online retailers are doing them. And there is a TV advertisement, or it's certainly on the internet anyway, where it's got Jurgen Klinsmann. He's getting poured a Weissbier. And of course, this Weissbier has always got the big head on it, and he's just about to scrape it off, which that would never happen in the UK. Never ever would anybody get a knife and fucking scrape the top off it, because you'd probably start a fight in a pub if you started doing that, because us being English, we like all the beer in the glass. We don't like anything scraped off the top. They do it in Belgium. I've seen it doing there. It's not unusual, in the words of Tom Jones. But it is done. But in this ad, there's someone scraping the top off a Weissbier. Now, if that was me and that was my pub, I would fucking sack that cunt, because you don't fucking scrape the head off a Weissbier. That's the whole point of Weissbier. And he's doing that. And Jurgen rightly points out, you don't scrape the fucking head off a Weissbier. But there you go. There you go. Yeah, and as I say, I don't know why I'm doing this. If this impresses me, I will be very fucking annoyed. So let's investigate and see what it is. It's red. I've never forgiven these bastards for 2006. That FA Cup final. We were cruising to victory, and that fucking scarce git, Stevie Gerrard.
Bitch, you Peruvian, punch you!
Oh, well, he got paid back. He slipped over a few times and all that, you know. Bitter? Me? Never. It's... Fuck, are we going to get through this? Or am I going to fucking go into rant mode? This is 5.3%. It's 500ml, and it's a Weissbier. It's from the Private Brewery, Erdinger. As I say, you're really not a fan of their stuff. I don't like their Weissbier. I don't like their Dunkel Weiss. It's just not bad, not that good. I tried their Fest beer. I just fucking didn't get that at all. People were saying how good it was. No, it wasn't. Not in my opinion, anyway. But there you go. Let's get it out of the can into the glass. Why did I do this? Do you know what? I'm actually going to keep this can as a reminder of my folly. Look, see, now Weissbier is well carbonated. That's a fact. But Erdinger, it just seems to be overly carbonated in my opinion. It's got very aggressive carbonation in the mouth, and it really doesn't taste that nice. Now this is in a can. Thankfully Erdinger put all their beer in brown bottles, but for this special edition it's in a can. Whether that makes a difference to the taste or not, I do not know. Now there's probably some sediment in it. I mean, there you go, look. Now can you see that carbonation? That is just insane. Weissbier is carbonated, don't get me wrong, you always get carbonation in Weissbier, but that is just insanity in my opinion. I have given it a shake, so there should be some yeasty sediments in there. Look at it. What are we getting on the nose? See, now this is my bugbear with Erdinger Weissbier. It has got none of the classic banana and clove style flavour. What I will say, if you're trying to get into Weissbier and you just don't like that flavour, but you want to drink a wheat beer, this actually, probably not this particular one, but the standard Erdinger stuff is probably a good stepping stone into Weissbier, because it hasn't got big banana and clove flavours. Now that clove flavour does put a lot of people off. They tend to call it a medicinal flavour, and it just puts them off. But this, from what I can tell, it hasn't got that. I can smell the bitter tears of the scousiness, but not banana and clove. I'm getting smug arrogance, first title in fucking God knows how long, and we're never going to hear the end of it. I'm getting a whiny accent. I'm getting full kit wankers. There it goes. The whole lot in the glass. If you want to have a look at the can, there it is. All that needs is a little bit of blue on it, and that could be a proper football team. Did I tell you I was a West Ham fan? There you go. It's in the glass now. Carbonation seems to have calmed down. It's not as aggressive as it was. Head is dissipating. It's quite warm in this room actually. So let's get this down the hatch. Calm down, calm down. It's a typical Erdinger. Typical Erdinger wheat beer. It's more like More like a wheat pilsner or a wheat lager. Even though this is, I think, top fermented, it is top fermented. It's just reminded me of lager. There is no big flavour in that at all. But that is in keeping with the Erdinger style. It's certainly got the body of a wheat beer. But the flavours just are not there at all. There's vague orange peel. That's what I'm getting. Orange peel. Not much spice at all. There's a little sweetness to it. But it's not that banana sweetness that you get off a good Bavarian Weissbier. It's got a slightly dry finish to it, but no sweetness. I really have to struggle. I really struggle to get any real flavour from this at all. And for a Bavarian wheat beer, it really does surprise me that they've put this out. I can half see why. I imagine this is for people that don't like traditional German wheat beer, and they're lager drinkers, and they want a lager or a non-flavoured beer with some body to it. And I used to drink this all the time, but don't get me wrong, you know, before I got into, you know, reviewing beer and stuff like that, I used to drink, not this particular can, but the standard Erdinger stuff, which is very similar to this. It's not much different. Can't really discern much difference between that and this one. But I do remember having the worst hangover ever after a night out on this. I thought I was going to fucking have a funny turn on a train going to work, and that put me off Erdinger. I mean, of course, when I tasted the other stuff like Schneider Weiss and Weihenstephaner and, you know, all the other good Bavarian wheat beers, I just thought, this, why am I bothering? And I'm sort of getting it with this as well. There's a vague herbal note that I'm getting on there. Not coriander, it's something else. Can't put my finger. It's so vague. I really have to struggle to get any flavour from it at all. But, and I'm not saying it because, you know, Liverpool are, you know, this can commemorates Liverpool winning some two-bob, what is it, a Premier Championship or something like that? I don't fucking know. We ain't bothered with stuff like that. We're going for real cups, like the Intertoto Cup. Shit like that. Fucking hell. Oh dear. Nah, not a fan. Not a fan of either the club or the beer. So, apart from signing my own death warrant in Liverpool, what do I think of the beer? Yeah, it's exactly what I was expecting from Erdinger. Low on flavour, a quite reasonable body on it as wheat beers go, but the yeast that they use in this just doesn't have any of the banana, any of the clove, and carbonation isn't as bad as I remember it. I do remember drinking this on draft and from the bottle as well, and carbonation was just insane. I'm sure that's what contributed to that really bad hangover. It was either that or the 9 pints that I drank of it, but I don't know. The jury's out on that one. As for this, nah, not really my thing. Will I be buying this again? Let me think about that. Will I be buying a beer that commemorates Liverpool winning something? I don't even know where I bought it. Was it to have a go at the Scouse? Not really. I've got a couple of Scouse mates as it goes. One's an Everton fan. And you think I'm bitter, right? Fuck me. And I've been up to Liverpool a few times. Oh, here's a little story for you, all right? This is going to make you laugh. This is fucking embarrassing for me, right? But it made a few Scousers laugh. Right, now, I do make a point of going to Liverpool. When West Ham played Liverpool, I did make a point a few years back when we were a club. I made a point of going to the games, and I've been to Liverpool loads of times. And I remember we played Everton once, and I've got a mate who's an Everton fan, and Everton always hump us. I don't mind Everton; they're a real club, real fans. Got on really well with the fans. I don't know, Liverpool fans have just got a fucking arrogance about them that I don't like. Anyway, I'm fucking digging a hole here, and But I went up there, met me Everton mate, and all that. And now you think I'm bad? This Everton mate, he hates Liverpool badly, right? Now you think I hate Liverpool? He fucking hates them. He's lived up there all his life. He won't even drive past the ground. He's never seen Anfield. He refuses. He'll go miles out of his way rather than go past that ground. That is a fucking true story. And if he's watching, he knows who he is. And I went up there with him, and of course they humped us. I think it was 4-0. They absolutely fucking battered us. We were shit back then. This is going back a few years now. This must be about 15 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, something like that. And we ended up in this pub in the town centre. And I don't know the name of the pub. Maybe if some of you Scousers are still watching this and haven't switched off and are trying to find out where I live, so you can go around there with a posse. But this pub had 3 stories, and there was a band on each floor. An acoustic band on the top. There was like a full rock band, and I don't know what was in the middle of it. But we all went in there, and he was with a couple of his Scouse mates. I was on my own with all these Scousers, and he was all taking the piss and all that, right? And this bloke walked in, head to toe, in a shell suit. And I just looked at him and I went, yeah, you fucking laugh at me, but look at the state of that. That is the archetypal fucking Scouser, head to toe in a shell suit, white trainers and all that, giving it the big one. And he come over and I went, you all right, mate? And he went, yeah, all right, how's it going? I went, where are you from? He went, Chadwell Heath. I went, oh, for fuck's sake. And he's, I think there was about 4 Scousers I was with. They were fucking pissing themselves. And he's a big lump, right? And I said, what the fuck are you doing walking into a pub in Liverpool dressed like that when you come from Chadwell Heath? Chadwell Heath, if you don't know, is Essex, and it's where the West Ham training ground is. He went, well, I've been to the game, didn't I? I'm like, for fuck's sake, you do not wear a shell suit if you come from London or the South East into a Scouse pub. You look like the archetypal Scouser. All you need is a couple of hubcaps and a video under your arm. And he's like, what have I done? It's like, ugh. Pointless trying to explain. But that was me, trying to be smart. Anyway, this stuff is going to get a 1 out of 10. I don't like it. It's just, no, that's been a bit harsh. Liverpool, I'll give them a 0 out of 10. This stuff, I'll give it 4 out of 10, because you can drink it, but if you're thinking you're getting a taste of Bavaria, you're not really. You're getting a taste of boring and bland, which is a bit like what you get when you watch Liverpool.
People like you are giving Scousers a bad name.
But no, it's not great. It's not great if you want a wheat beer, but it's drinkable, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. And remember, I'm drinking this shit, so you Scousers or you Everton fans don't have to.
That's the end of the show then.
Hey, it's the end of the show when I say it is, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, all right, calm down.